However, I don't have any original recipes of my own. I just borrow other people's recipes, so I didn't want to recreate a video that already exists. But what I do enjoy and what I think well is I like piping flowers. And since it's summer, I thought, what better thing to pipe than succulents? So I have made here these beautiful succulent. Last thing I need to do is lose one. I have piped here these wonderful succulent brownies that are just filled with fun color and different textures. And I'm going to show you kind of how I pipe them and put them together. Ordinarily, I would do this on like a sugar cookie, just like a nice round cutout cookie, or a cake. But I was really craving brownies, and so I made a pan of brownies, and I just decided to slather some icing on them. So I hope you enjoy this little tutorial, if you will, but mostly it's just a relaxing video of me piping flowers. I encourage you to try it at some point. It's really not difficult. It just takes a lot of patience, and a lot of practice, and obviously the right materials. But you can get stuff on Amazon or at a local baking store for relatively cheap. And I'll give all the pipe numbers and tip numbers and colors that I use and everything that you might need to know in case you do want to try this at home. Enjoy.
Alright, so the first thing I do is pipe some happy little cactuses. These are super easy. I was using a Wilton 199 tip for the base, and then a little Wilton 18 star tip for the flower, and then a PME 0 tip, very, very small, for the little prickly parts of the cactuses. And then here I did a few more smaller happy little cactuses, because sometimes they grow in groups and it's cute. And then I used a toothpick to clean up because I didn't do a very good job. Shh, don't tell anybody. And here I am using a tip that is mostly used for chrysanthemums, I think. It's a Wilton 79. I dyed a tiny little bit of terracotta coloring to give this really warm pink kind of desert flavor or color, and pipe these tiny little petals, very, very delicate. They form a horseshoe out of the tip, and you just kind of layer them on until you feel satisfied. Alright, now these colors you would never find in nature, but I thought it would pretty together, so this is using a typical petal tip that you would pipe any rose with. It's a Wilton 102 tip with a really dark green and a really dark purple, and I was trying to pipe like a, I don't know flowers, y'all, or succulent names, but I thought it was pretty, so I did it. And so here I'm using another petal tip, a slightly larger, this is a 104 tip, with moss color and some of that terracotta color mixed in. And I love this little flower here. It's kind of like a rose, but it's a little bit more, I don't know, big. I thought it turned out really pretty. And then here, I am using a standard petal tip. It's a 352 from Wilton with that same green and purple color again. And this is, I guess, a shrub. I have to confess, I don't know the names of anything that I'm piping. I'm mostly just making it up as I go. I feel like it looks pretty. Alright, and then here I have more cactuses. I'm using another star tip. This is the Wilton 16, and just making some happy little cactuses. So now it's time to decorate. So I cover it with a little bit of icing on the brownie, and then I froze all of these flowers for about 30 minutes so they were nice and stiff, so I could just peel them off of the wax paper and then place them on the brownie. To fill in gaps, I'm using just a little round opening tip, a Wilton 6, and creating some bulbs, because when I think succulents, I just think bulbous. And then I pipe some flowers and some other happy little cactuses all around them, just to give it a little personality and a little bit more texture. I really wanted these brownies to have a lot of different colors and textures on them to create kind of like a little mini terrarium. And you just keep kind of piling on your flowers until you feel satisfied, until you think it's beautiful. And anytime I felt there was too much green, I just started adding more of the purple or terracotta color to give it a little bit more vibrancy. And you just pipe until your little heart is content. More bulbs. Just dots after dots. And then you put flowers on the dots because why not? Just little stars with the Wilton 16. And so here we have our finished products, our happy little succulent gardens. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us today, and I hope that if you try this, you send us pictures so we can see how you did. Have a good one, everybody.